So all right, you guys, in the shop about 9:30 at night. I bought this 2014 Jeep. I pulled the wheels on it. It's in pretty good shape. I pulled the wheels on it so I could lower it down. The everything's really good on it. It's a really nice one odor 2014 Wrangler. It's a Patriot Edition. So it says Oscar Mike, which means I believe that means we're moving or something like yeah. I remember from Army days. It's like, so current we're moving, yeah, and then like we were moving, we were changing position, and then Charlie Mike is of course complete mission, but it's a good little rig, and it looks like it's in very good shape. Bought it for a 16-year-old kid over in Mississippi, one of the grandkids. Real nice. The guy took really good care of it. The only thing with it, and this is what happens, is 169,000 miles, and we did kind of expect to find something, but overall, finding very, very little. But the only thing I did expect and did see, there was a slight oil leak. We kind of knew what it was. These are the 3.6 liters that they put in them. I believe it started from 2014 up through, and they're a Pentastar 3.6 liter. They're in a lot of stuff: Caravans, Chargers, Challengers, minivans, of course, Caravans, and then Jeeps. And I started taking this one apart because it has, let me see if I can get this out of here without too much drama. Move my little cart around. It has the, I can show you what it looks like. You guys, it's all over YouTube, so you can see them, because these are a very common problem. So give me a second, I'll get this out. It looks like this. Let me get it up here on the thing. But this is where the oil filter screws in, and it's plastic. So what they have, and hold on a minute, is they have an aluminum version. Let me throw this back down here. They have this aluminum version, and filter housing goes in there. It's similar, looks like what we had on the Ford Edge, and it's like what's on the Raptor that I got. Looks just like that filter setup, but then this, and it's got sensors, and it has oil that comes through here, and it's an oil cooler deal. But yeah, so these stupid things are made out of plastic. They're embedded down in this engine right there. You guys can see it. Move this little hose out a little bit. I started unhooking. And then they leak. The little oil seals leak. They get warped. The biggest thing that happens is these seals here leak. And then this one, when you put it back in, you got to be careful. I usually put like I say usually, but I saw where they put assembly lube on there, and then you slide it down in there, and then you torque. There's a torque sequence torquing it in there, and then in theory, if you do it right, that's not supposed to leak again. But I checked the rear main seal. I did everything, and just to be sure, I took my little camera and I went down in there. I meant to film that. I should have. Things pretty sweet. I'm recharging it now, but I got the long 16-foot cord on it, and I was able to, because from where you were looking from the front of the housing, it didn't look like it was leaking, and I thought, oh no, I hope it ain't a rear main seal, because then you're pulling a tranny. This is a 2 or 3 hour job as it is, because you got to pull 2 pieces of intake, unhook the fuel injectors, unhook like these heater hoses and brackets, and pull this plug. And like I said, I took that piece out already, the snorkel, and then you there's a fuel line you unhooked, and then you replace it. And so these really aren't that hard to work on. I've worked on so much stuff. This is really minor. But the biggest thing is just shouldn't have to do it. But I do feel a vehicle with 169,000 miles would have something wrong. But this thing, man, this guy took good care of this thing. I have to hand it to him. He did a real good job. I don't even think the stupid thing's ever even been in a mud puddle. I mean, the paper's all still on the axles. It's all still, I mean, there's no dirt on this thing. It's crazy. Let me raise it up till it hits the locks. But yeah, my lift sinks a little bit if I leave it without hit on the locks. But like you guys can see back here on the frame and stuff, the paper was all still on here. This thing is clean. The pads are about half gone on the brakes, but still got a lot of life. He's running these Nitto off-road tires, and he put different rims on it, cool rims. And then, yeah, and then he's got a, it's real cool, you can see the orange up there, but when you take the tops off, it automatically has a screen and stuff. Of course, guy was University of Tennessee, but it's all leather interior. It's got these cool floor mats. And then what I thought was kind of cool, let me shut this door properly so that light will go out, but he's got it's got these stars on the seats. I mean, this thing is cherry for what it is. It just has high miles. But these motors, they do say can run out to a couple 100,000 or more. And like I said, this guy that's getting at the kid, this has got to be something. I mean, if I'd have got something like this when I was a 16-year-old kid, it wasn't a bad price on this, you guys. It wasn't. I got it for $10,700. I'm not complaining. I mean, and the only thing I got to do is replace that snorkel, and for me, that's child's play. I don't know if it would be hard for other people, but for me, those are minor things. And even like suspension-wise, bushings, tie rods, everything's tight. The only Carfax thing on it was a slight bump it got in the rear, and they said very minor. I don't see anything, but that's okay. And then the air conditioning had some work, but it blows cold. And yeah, everything checked out really good when I checked it before I bought it, except for that leak. And then it's run a little bit, and you guys can see it's been sitting here for a day or two, and it's not leaking. But I did clean a lot of it off, but you could tell it would leak. So yeah, so I'll tear into that and knock that out, and then that's really all that's the matter with this. And then test drive it and put it away and take it over to Mississippi, probably on my trailer, and give it to that kid. I'm still working on this. I got the hood over there getting ready to paint. And then I got the bed here. It's ready pretty much to paint. And of course, I've showed you guys this parts and stuff from the 72. I had to get back into this 390. I've got it tore back down. I'm going to use this ball hone on it. It really, I had a ring here on the back on this cylinder here that wasn't sealing. And I did have discoloration on these when I honed them. And I honed them pretty good, but I was like, I'm a little worried about this. Because you guys can see there's some here. And this, believe it or not, this was the only one leaking. And there's some oil there, but that's from when I took it apart. But I think this one a little bit. But yeah, I'll go back through it. I got a fresh set of rings. I'm going to get my rings a little tighter. I got them, the ones I had were 30 over, because these are 30 over pistons. And I didn't really have, the gap seemed a little wide to me. I didn't have to gap them. And I was like, yeah, I usually always have to gap pistons. So I got 40 overs and I'll gap them. And then I'll use that ball hone instead of that stone hone. And then I'll see what surface I get. If I don't get a good surface, I'll pull this thing completely down, take it to a machine shop. I may machine hone it anyway. I was going to put plasma moly rings in it and have it machine honed before and just run plasma mollies. But I'd gotten these cast rings, and I think it'll be okay. I've done bunches of motors over the years and never had an issue. This first one I ever had an issue with. And I don't know if I did something wrong or not. But believe it or not, it ran beautiful. It ran beautiful, except it smoked on the passenger side just a little bit. And I was like, no, I ain't sending it back to Mississippi smoking, you know. So, and I didn't want to run it and have it try to seat itself or see if it was going to seat, you know. One thing I was happy about, apparently this is that weird rear seal on these things. It's got the seals down the side and then a two-piece. I don't really like them. It's a weird seal. But I did it apparently correctly because it doesn't leak. And then the front seal didn't leak. Like I said before on a previous videos, this motor had been rebuilt once and bore 30 over. And so it may have been an okay motor, but I didn't know the history of the motor, so I pulled it down, re-ringed it, re-bearinged it. The bearings did look like they needed a little wear. Looks like it got rebuilt, and then the guy didn't take care of it because it had sludge in the oil, and it was losing some oil pressure because it was blocking the pickup tube with enough sludge, and that's not good. So that's why I pulled it down, and I'll go through it. And then plus after this is run, it only ran 20, 30 minutes. That's all I needed to tell that I had an issue. But I'll check the bearings again and all that. But yeah, sometimes that happens. I've never really had it happen. I've never really, even on race engines I built, I've never blowed a motor. I better not say that, but yeah. So, but as you guys can see, and I showed you this before, but Bugger Bear's paint job is what it'll look like. It'll be on this bed. I'm going to try to get this bed painted pretty quickly here. It all of a sudden started raining like crazy. So I got this thing almost ready to go, and I'll push it outside here on a little cooler, calm evening. There's a window, and that's when I painted like this in this window at night, about 7:30, 8 o'clock at night with no wind. And this thing came out really well, and good enough for this old rig. And then the body here all smoothed out really nice. Very minimal Bondo. I got some on the other side, and then but it'll be fine. And of course I repaired the piece up here. That's all smooth. I just threw some Bondo on it because I had some when I was doing a little patch, and I threw some Bondo on it, smoothed it out. You won't ever hardly be able to tell. There was a big old 8-inch hole cut in that thing, because I put in the steel plate and then just put a skim coat of Bondo. That's all going to be rhino lined, so it really probably didn't have to be Bondoed. I just threw it on there. If something bumps it, it'll probably chip it, but it's very, very thin, because I smoothed the metal out pretty good. I was just playing with the Bondo. But yeah, this side's good. Everything's good. So this bed will be nice, and then I can mount the, I can rhino line it after it's painted, mount the tailgate on it, and put it aside. And then I can paint the hood. That's over there. That's ready to go. I'm just waiting for the right timing of the evening. And then those two things will be ready. Then I can set them aside, probably in my other garage. And then I can go back to work on this, on the body of this beast, and get it painted. And then slam the motor and transmission back in it. The transmission had a leak in the front seal. I believe that's the torque converter wasn't pushed back far enough. And so, yeah, but yeah, I got a couple projects going. This one's real quick, and then, a couple days, and then I'll have to change the oil, make sure all that's perfect. But I wanted to go through it anyway. I want to get it on the lift. I want to play with it a little bit, make sure it's okay, because it is, again, going 200 or 300 miles away. And I want them to not have trouble with it. And as long as they don't take it wheeling down in the river bottom or something, or the lake bottom, I think this thing will be a good rig for him. He can haul all his buddies in there and friends and stuff, and anything he wants, and then it'd be a good backup car for the family too if something happened. But the only thing the guy did to it was, like I showed, that mesh inside, the mesh sealing, and then the tires. And then that's what you guys saw him, and then the halo headlights. But he didn't really get too crazy with it. He was University of Tennessee alumni, so he had some stuff in orange. But orange is cool. It looks good, especially with the silver. It looked pretty cool. So yeah, you guys, that's it. I just wanted to give you an update on this, one of the little projects I was working on, and then kind of let you see some of the stuff I was doing lately. I hadn't really done anything lately, so. But yeah, steady progress. I want to get these two vehicles done and out of the way again, so I can continue working on my 56, get it back down, and continue working forward on that. But all right, you guys, I'll wrap this up. Just wanted to throw something out there real quick so everybody can see where I'm at with these things and what's going on. Basically, building 2 cars for grandchildren. So we'll see. Hopefully. They all appreciate them. They do. They're good kids, so otherwise I wouldn't do it. But anyways, I'll wrap this up and let you guys go. See you later. Bye.